Hello everyone and welcome back to Gran Turismo 7. Today we will be continuing through menu books as always until we get through all of these, and then we can focus on the other aspects of the game. But anyway, the next one is another collection menu book. We need to collect 3 BMW M3s. The second one we already have, the 2003 car. But there's also the 2007 M3 as well as the 1989 M3. So yeah, we will need to collect all of them. So let's go ahead and find out what races we need to do to unlock those. I imagine they would be in Europe, probably driving European cars, because that's how this game tends to work. Alright, so the races we need to do are the European FR Challenge 550 races, the first of which we are doing at the Red Bull Ring. We're going to be driving the BMW M3 that we have already unlocked, and in terms of upgrades, all I've done is sports soft tyres, as you can see in the bottom left, as well as the first 2 stages of weight reduction to make us nice and quick through the corners. Not that quick though, because we ran a little bit wide on the exit, but nonetheless we take the position anyway. No track limits in Gran Turismo. But anyway, we will continue to push on through this race, and we have decent straight line speed as well, it seems, at least compared to these cars at the back. So yeah, we should have a good all-round package here for this race, so let's try and make our way through the field as quickly as possible. It's a decent sized field, 12 cars, so we have work to do here as we make a couple of moves in a straight line there, and we'll make another one here as we go around the outside. Can't quite brake as late as the little roadster there, but we get through nonetheless and make that move stick, and now we are up already into 7th position, so a good start. Let's continue to move our way through the field. The driving line of that corner is, well, just wrong, to put it simply. It tells you to sort of turn in very early, same with this next left-hander as well. So yeah, most corners it's close enough, but for some reason those ones are just way off. Maybe for a particular car that would be a better line, but I don't know. But whatever the case is, that driving line is not one you want to follow, as we go a bit wide again at the penultimate corner. But nonetheless, we continue to make our way through the field, getting a bit caught up on the exit curve there, sends us even wider, but nonetheless we are making the move up into 6th position now, and we're actually now up into 5th. So that is a job done there. We'll make a very aggressive move up the inside. We are being very crashy-bashy today, I think is the technical term. But anyway, we will continue and try and catch up to the rest of the group ahead. We're still a fair way off the leader, which is what's concerning. So despite the fact we're making a lot of progress as we, well, yeah, that's not even racing at this point. It's a demo derby now. But yeah, we're still a long way off the lead, so that is concerning. It may be difficult to catch that up. The first 2 cars actually are a long way ahead of the rest of the pack. So yeah, we'll need to see if we can gain that time, but it's a big gap. On to the final lap then, and we've caught the 2nd place car, and carrying the speed through turn 1, taking the speed running route. That's what I was calling it before, now I've remembered. We get through there, and now we just need to chase down the leader. They're still a fair way in front, but at least we can see them now. So let's see if we can make up the time and catch up. But yeah, it's a big gap, but we might just be able to do it. It's going to be very close actually, whether we can get there or not. But let's see. We've only got this sort of big straight and then the rest are corners. So yeah, we need to make sure we don't brake too late here, and we need to make sure we get through all the corners as efficiently as we can, because that's where we should have the advantage. But you can see not gaining a lot there in that part of the lap, so maybe it will be a little bit too little too late. We'll see what we can do as we get a bit wide there, and that might be the end of our chances. We're not gaining on the leader anywhere near as fast as we were gaining on the other cars, so yeah, it's we might not have enough. We're getting closer though. We have a half a chance here at the last 2 corners, but we're going to need to absolutely nail it and carry as much speed as we possibly can into these corners, going quite deep and aggressive on the brakes, taking a wide line. We're going to try and focus on a good exit as we rear end the car in front, and that's spoiled all of our momentum, and we're not quite going to get there now, and it's only going to be P2. Sad. But anyway, that's good enough to get the car, but we will want to try again. We get the 1989 car for that, and a level up as well. So on our next attempt at the race, we are a little bit closer to the leader, but not only that, it also appears to be raining. So yeah, it's a bit of a strange thing that when you retry the same race, you can get different weather conditions. Yeah, it's an interesting thing. I don't know if I've really talked about it before, but yeah, I find that yeah, a bit strange, but I guess it's a good way of kind of randomly sprinkling in some rain, so to speak. But anyway, as you can see, got the win finally this time, which means we can move on to the next race. We keep up our all gold record. So here we are then at the Nurburgring for the next race, and we will get underway for this one. And at the moment it is dry, no rain falling, but there are many clouds in the sky. But anyway, we will try and make our way through the field in a potentially cleaner fashion to what we did at the Red Bull Ring, but we'll see how it goes. If the need arises, we will resort to our speed running strategies, we'll call them. But anyway, we get a bit wide on the exit there. That corner really seems to tighten up as you go through. It seems to sort of keep going further than what you kind of expect it to. But anyway, we will not worry about that too much. Didn't cost us too much time, and we get through and make the move up into 8th position. And now we chase down the next car. The little roadster once again is in front of us, but I think a different colour than before. I've got no idea. Anyway, we go for the move on the inside. Maybe it's not a different colour. I'm just making stuff. Oh no, there's 2. Okay, well, that explains that. Anyway, pushing on once again, we'll get past the other one here and make our way up the inside, and we'll get through now behind the M3 around the outside, and we will find our way past there. So making good progress through the field up into the top 5 now. And can we make a move around the outside here? We'll try and carry the speed through, and we'll just about get there and make the move stick now as we head through and onto the kind of back straight-ish. Straight-ish. He isn't straight. Anyway, we get up into 3rd position, and we'll soon make that 2nd as we are late on the brakes here. We probably don't, well, we might get around the outside here actually to the inside, and we'll get through and up into 2nd. That was a nice little move there as we're trying to look around, see where they are. We're able to take the line into the final corner. We run a bit deep there, and now it's also worth mentioning, you may have noticed, it is raining. So yeah, the wipers on at the bottom of the screen there, you can just about see. I always think that's another strange thing in Gran Turismo. The bonnet camera clearly isn't actually on the bonnet. It's just, I guess you can see the bonnet, but really, in reality it's kind of at the top of the windscreen because you can see the wipers there. But anyway, let's not worry about that, because we have a few more overtake, or one more overtake to make as we're up into 2nd position. I'm getting very distracted. I wanted to just sort of see what it looked like on the inside while it was raining, but this cost a bit of time as I cannot drive with that camera view. I just can't. But anyway, we will try and make up for that The sports soft tyres, they should work in the rain. They have grooves in them, so yeah, they should be okay in these conditions, as we're getting very close now, just chipping away bit by bit, and we will soon be trying to make the move for the lead. We just need to wait for the right opportunity as we go around the end of the vacuum cleaner and up the inside, and we get through into the lead a bit deep, and we then might get a switch back, but no, we're fine, and we're up into the lead. And you might notice I just called the Nurburgring a vacuum cleaner, but that's what I always think the track looks like when I see the map of this the short version that we're racing on now, or the GP version I think it's called. But yeah, for some reason that's just what comes to mind. You know, you'd like bit at the top's like the body of it, and then you've got like the snorkely bit with the T-shaped sucky bit at the end. I don't know what I'm saying. Anyway, vacuum cleaner commentary aside, we are back to the in-car view, and you can see that doesn't work out very well for us, and we actually lose the lead there, and all of a sudden we have a lot of work to do. Well, I've been talking about vacuum cleaners, we've been getting distracted, and now we are probably not going to win this race. So in this kind of situation, there's only one thing you can do at the Nurburgring, so we're just going to send the car over the hill, and thankfully we lined it up right. We're still a bit out of control into the braking zone, but we get it stopped, and we're able to retake the lead of the race on the final few corners, and we're going to come across the line to win the FR Challenge 550 European something or other in Nurburgring. Alrighty then. That is that menu book complete. We'll have all three M3s, and we'll be able to continue on to whatever is next. So that is cool. We'll get to the what is this one? The 07 M3, and there it is. Another boost to our collector score, 93,000, and 93, which means the car's worth 93,000. But yeah, with that done, let's head back to the cafe. Alright, back at the cafe, and there are the cars at, I guess, Nurburgring, that looks like, in the background. But there it is, collection of the BMW M3s, and Luca is saying all his usual spiel when we complete stuff. Good job, blah blah blah. We get a Roulette Ticket, 3 stars, so a decent reward for that one. So let's see what we can find out about these cars. Collection BMW M3. BMW is a manufacturer that has seen great success in touring car races with cars based on retail models. At first, BMW's in-house sports division was in charge of the company's motorsports activities. But then, in 1972, it set up a subsidiary company called BMW Motorsport. The new company's technical specialist developed engines for Formula machines as well as touring cars. In 1993, its name was changed to BMW M, a name that is still in use. The BMW M series cars you see here are all retail models developed by BMW M. Even among the rest of BMW's retail lineup, these stand out as being especially powerful and popular models. The first generation BMW M3, which made its debut in 1985, was the base model for the company's touring car. Designed from the ground up as though it was a racing car, it remains a legend among M3s to this day. And there it is, the next menu book collection, Alfa Romeo. Alright, roulette ticket time. Let's see what we get on this particular occasion. Let's see, are we going to get a car, money, or we could get springs? Brilliant. And specifically, it's for the BMW M4 safety car. To be honest, I didn't even know that car was in this game. We used to drive it all the time back in GT6, so I guess I know what I'm going to buy next. And that wasn't even a joke, because I am literally going straight in immediately after that to buy this car. There's no point having an upgrade for a car you don't own, so now we own, or we will own, now we own this car. There is $150,000 I will never see again, but at the same time, that goes straight into our collector score, so it's not going to waste. And of course we get the car as well, which is a small thing. But anyway, with that out of the way, let's head back to the cafe and start the next menu book. So as I said, the next menu book is another collection for Alfa Romeos. We need the Alfa Romeo 8C Competizione, or whatever that says. We need the Alfa Romeo 4C as well as the Mito, or however that's pronounced, not sure. But anyway, I don't speak Alfa Romanian. Let's just get into it and start collecting these cars. So the series we need to compete in for this is the European Clubman Cup 600, and we are going to be using the BMW safety car that we just bought. We are racing at Sardinia for this first race, so let's get things going as we go for a dive up the inside, or is this the outside? It's the outside, as we head towards the first corner, passing a few cars there, so very good straight line speed versus the back couple of cars in this race, carrying decent corner speed as well. It seems a little bit twitchy there, so potentially this car a bit unstable. We'll get a better read on that as we go through the lap. But yeah, at the moment the car is seeming okay, seems quite grippy, a bit of understeer there, so yeah, it's yeah, maybe not the nicest handling thing in the world, probably not quite as good as the R32, but it's okay so far as we hit the wall and run all the way around the outside there. And yeah, I do not know this track, by the way, not at all. And there's a big twitch, so I was saying this car was alright, maybe not so much, because that was a big moment on a fairly nothing corner. We'll have to be very careful and see how it goes over the rest of the lap, but yeah, that was a bit weird, so we'll see how it goes. But yeah, at the moment the car not handling that great after that, but anyway, we'll continue to push on. In terms of upgrades, by the way, we've gone for the weight reduction along with better tyres, better brakes as we hit the wall there, and a little bit of power, but not too much. Mostly just those other things that I said. So yeah, we should, in theory, we should have a fairly nicely handling car, because we've prioritized that, but it's not really panned out that way, and the car seems very sort of twitchy and snappy. So yeah, it's very strange, because it does that, but it also has a lot of grip, meaning when you try and catch it, you just drive straight into the wall, which is what happened a little while ago. But anyway, we've managed to contend with the issues so far, and we're up into third position, so we'll see if we can catch up to the other podium runners. We are catching P2 fairly quickly, so we'll see if we can get this move done somewhere within the next couple of corners, and then we'll eventually be able to get after the leader. They're not too far ahead, so we should be able to catch them as well, as we go a little bit deep there and a bit wide, but we managed to keep things just about under control. But yeah, you can see we're just, it's, yeah, the car's not great. It gets understeer a fair bit, and again, we're just going to use the wall here. I don't know if it's actually faster for this particular corner. It would seem so, actually, looking at that, but we don't get a good exit. But yeah, there's another big snap at the same corner. We managed to sort of save it that time, but yeah, you can see this car just isn't really that great. Whether, I don't know what we need to do. Maybe it needs some rear downforce. That might help it keep it a bit more planted. Or maybe just there's something with the suspension, if I make that stiffer or something. I don't know. I don't really know about tuning cars that much, but I do know that jelly suspension is not good. But I'd imagine, even on the default settings, this is a BMW M4. I'd imagine it's not terrible. But there's a spin, and it's gonna take us a little while to get going once again. as we find ourselves pointing the wrong way, and we've dropped down into 3rd position. So this race just got that much harder at Sardinia, but we'll see what we can do as we continue to push on and try and close that gap down to 2nd place once again. A little bit of a switch on the exit there. We need to be very, very careful on the exits of corners. That's where we are the most likely to make mistakes, as we go a little bit wide there. Thankfully, there was a perfectly sized bit of escape road there, and we were able to use that. Otherwise, we would have been in big trouble. But thankfully, we got away with that, and now we can set sail after the race leader once again. So heading through the 1st sector now on the final lap of the race. We are chipping away and getting closer, but it's quite a gap to close in, and we're not allowed to make mistakes from now on, otherwise we won't have a chance of taking the race win. Going a bit deep there once again, but again we managed to keep things relatively under control. Bit of a bump into the wall there, but shouldn't lose us too much time. We are still gaining against the race leader. Once again, through this corner, we are going to take the wall, because that's one less corner we have to worry about losing the rear end on if we do that. And we managed to navigate that. Now this right-hander, that's caused us a few problems so far, and thankfully we keep things under control on that occasion. Not too out of shape on the exit there. Now closing in to the race leader as we head into a heavy braking zone here. This should be where we get a lot of time gain, and we do. We get very close now, so let's see if we can make some form of overtake in the coming few corners. We are running out of time here. We are on the final lap, so we need to get a move on as we go a bit wide around the outside, and now we're very deep into the next left-hander, and we immediately lose that position. So yeah, we need to get our act together, because we've only got a handful of corners to go. Late on the brakes, round the outside again as we try and line things up for the straight. Now power down in the slipstream. Can we do anything here to make our way past, as we have a look potentially to the inside? Big dive, and we'll just about squeeze in there, and we'll take that position at the last opportunity as we now come towards the finish line, and we're going to win the first race of the what was this? Club and Cup 600 at Sardinia. But yeah, this car is not a great driving experience, I'm afraid, but anyway, we'll see what we can do about it in the future. Oh, and there is the Alfa Romeo 4C as well. Okay, so the second race of the championship is at Alsace. So, well, it's not a championship, it's just 3 individual races. But anyway, we go up the inside and immediately overtake a car into turn 1. That brings us up into 11th. As we line up the next one, we might go around the outside, or is that the inside? Hang on, I already did that one. Anyway, it's a straight, there's no outside or inside. But anyway, we again have to deal with the twitchiness of this car. I haven't done anything about it as of yet. So yeah, that's just something we'll have to contend with once again. But it's a different sort of style of circuit, so maybe, you know, maybe it won't be as bad here. Maybe it'll be worse. Who knows? But anyway, we sneak through down the inside. A bit of contact there as we ran out of room between the cars and the fence, but nonetheless we continue to move our way forwards. Big dive up the inside, and that moves us up all the way into the 5th position now. So a lot of progress in the early phase of this one. Let's see if we can keep this going. If those high-speed corners like that, that's especially sketchy, and you have to be very, very careful of in this car. It's always very, very tricky. But anyway, yeah, we continue to push on, and we make another overtake up into, well, that's a bit of a moment. We managed to keep things under control though, but we're up into 4th position now, and chasing down the podium runners. So let's see if we can do anything here. This corner is going to be tricky because it's a braking zone. It's a sort of fairly high speed entry, and the car's all loaded up on one side. So yeah, I can only imagine that one will be difficult if we're going in there at full tilt. We're quite conservative on that occasion. Bit of a mistake there, and we lose a lot of time, and that drops us back. Well, we haven't lost a spot, but a long way behind the top 3. So let's go into the... again, big lose in the braking zone there. We managed to get the car stopped still, and we can continue to push on. But yeah, we are really struggling in this one. In a few of the downhill braking zones, they seem to be the real challenge here. So we need to be careful of that. But yeah, it's just the rear end really wants to overtake the front end, and that's becoming a serious problem. But anyway, good run here, and we might be able to just go 1, 2, 3 and past a lot of them. We don't really get enough space on the edge of the road there, and that's a spin as we try to re-enter the circuit, losing the back end, and we managed to keep things going without coming to a complete stop, but that's lost us a lot of time to the top 3 again. So lots of work to do if we want to catch up. But yeah, that was well, a little bit unnecessary. I should have just gone to the left, but anyway, doesn't matter. We'll catch up again, and in fact we already are catching up again, as you can see. So yeah, we have all the pace in the world, but this car is just so hard to drive properly without making mistakes. It's a real challenge. But anyway, we immediately make 1 overtake and maybe 2 on the exit here, trying to carry the speed through, and we'll have the outside line. We get forced a little bit wide, wider than we would have liked to, but nonetheless we make that move stick and up into 2nd position, just the race leader in front of us now, as we head through this sort of banked right-hander, and we are running a little bit high there, but we'll be able to carry the speed. Now we're a lot closer to the race leader. We'll make the move to the inside, and we'll get the job done as we lose the rear end there into the braking zone, and we lose that spot immediately. So yeah, that's unfortunate, and we'll need to go again. We have another lap left in this race, but yeah, those mistakes are really beginning to get costly. But anyway, we continue to push on. We'll catch up once again, and we'll go for the move when we find an opportunity. But yeah, we didn't lose too much overall that time. We didn't spin or come to a complete stop. We just had a major moment. But anyway, on the back of the leader again now, and trying to find a window, an opportunity to get past. It will probably be into the first corner if we find anything. So late on the brakes down the inside, and we get the job done, move ourselves up and into the lead of the race. So let's just push on to the end. So now we head into the scary corner, but we managed to keep things under control there. So we've really only got one tricky corner left between us and the end of this race. So okay. I didn't even know what that was. That was just terrible. But unfortunately, that's cost us a lot of time, so much so that we've lost the lead, and we might lose the win as well, as we are in the last lap. There's only a handful of corners left, and that incredibly stupid mistake. Don't even ask me what I was doing there, because I have no clue. But that's going to cost us a chance here of taking the victory. We're going to cross the line anyway, just to get the money for it. But yeah, we are not going to win this one. We've got no more chances to overtake, and whatever that was, we have cost ourselves, and it's only going to be P2 this time. So we'll need to try this one again, and try to get the win on the next attempts. But we get the car anyway, which is the 8C. But anyway, we did try again, and unfortunately that ended in a somewhat similar way, finding the wall and spinning a few times, and that was the end of that one. But eventually we got there. We did manage to take the win, which means we can finally put this race behind us. So the final race we need to do today is at Brands Hatch. We've gone a long way today. We've gone from Sardinia, which I think is in Italy. I actually can't remember. Then we've gone to Alsace, which is France, and now finishing off in the UK. I guess that's why it's a European Championship. But anyway, we went all across the place, and finally we actually race on a real circuit. I believe the other two are original circuits. Sorry if they're not. But anyway, dive up the inside and making the move up into 9th position, make that 8th as we have a bit of straight line speed, and that helps us gain another spot. Now we have Sally in front of us as we will get the outside run and get the move done there along the straight. We've got great straight line speed along here. I heard the beep and my voice just automatically said get the DRS open because it sounds very similar to the DRS beep in the F1 game. Every time I hear that beep I want to say DRS, and even when I'm playing there have been instances where I've pressed the DRS button on the controller to whenever I've heard that beep. It's very stupid, but it's something I've done. I just hear that beep and I want DRS. I'm driving a flipping BMW safety car. I don't need DRS, but anyway, a bit of a moment there on the exit of left-hander as we are closing up to the podium contenders now. We can hopefully find our way now we've just wandered off the road there. I don't know what that was about, but anyway, we briefly held a podium place. We're back into 4th now after that little mistake. This corner is going to be tricky. We have to make a bit of contact with the car in front, but we make the move stick, and we've had a bit of a moment on the exit, and that's a spin. We've almost spun back the right way again though, so that's convenient, but anyway, that could have been a little bit worse than it was. We kept the car on the track, which saves a bit of time in the getting going again phase of the incident, so not too bad. We'll continue and we'll try and catch up once again as we are about halfway through the race now, and still holding in 4th position, so not in a bad place. But the first two now, after the bit of a scrap we had for P3 and 4, the first two have gotten away, so we'll need to make an effort to chase them down on the final lap. But yeah, straight line speed helping us there. Retake 3rd position as we now head into the box kind of section of the circuit, and these corners aren't too tricky in this car. It's I think on Brands Hatch it's probably mostly turn 1 that's the hardest to control this car. The rest of the track is actually pretty good. We don't have too much of that sort of snapping going on, but we have now caught up to the top 2, so let's see if we can make an overtake here, potentially into the final corner, as we are heading into the sun there, very bright when we get up the inside, and make one of the 2 overtakes now along the straight. Bit of a moment on the exit, but we get the other one as well, and move ourselves up and into the lead. So if we can get through turn 1, I think we will be pretty much safe to go to the end. We get through turn 1 nicely, so let's just move on to the end. So now we move on to the end of the race, fishtailing across the line, and that is a job done, winning the final race. And I'm glad to not have to drive that car again. I know there were other options, but I like using the same car across the series. It kind of makes sense. But anyway, clean race bonus there as well. So we didn't make contact with any other cars, which is a nice little bonus as well. But there you go, the Alfa Romeo Mito is now ours, so let's head back to the cafe. And there it is, our collection of Alfa Romeos. And there we go, collection Alfa Romeo completed. Cool. Let's see what we can discover about these cars and what rewards we get for this collection. Thank you, Luca, for that. We get a 3-star Roulette Ticket. Seems to be a common prize, but anyway, there we go, collection Alfa Romeo. One of the oldest out of the numerous car brands in Italy is Alfa Romeo of Milan. Established in 1910, they've been around for well over a century. Its emblem is also something of a classic. Combining the cross of the city of Milan with the snake that is the symbol of the local house of Visconti. It's been their company badge from the very beginning. In 1911, Alfa Romeo took part in its first Grand Prix, along with other manufacturers from various countries. And between the 1920s and 1930s, Alfa Romeo racing cars won GP race after GP race. Since then, they have produced many legendary sports cars that carry over the performance of their race cars. And of course, Alfa Romeo still continues this tradition today. Alright, there is the next menu book, and it is the circuit experience. Can't wait to show you what happened in that one. But yeah, that is for next time. No spoilers here. But before we finish this one off, we have a roulette ticket to spend, so we'll go ahead and do that. Yeah, while we spin this, I will say thank you so much for watching all the way to the end. Really appreciate it. Feel free to give me some feedback in the comments. It's always very useful. But other than that, that is just about it. So I will see you next time. What are we going to get? It is an exhaust component of some variety, I think. It is a semi-racing silencer for the safety car. Cool, we can fit that right away. I'll see you next time. Goodbye.